Alright, DigimonTCG. This is here with a deck profile of Dark Masters. We got Sean here from our locals. Finally not me, I know. Alright, Sean, give us this was second?
This was second place against Security Control.
Yeah, and who beat you? Alright,
boy right here.
Alright, cool deal.
Our boy right here. I gotta admit that.
Now, the reason that I'm not doing the Security Control list is because it was basically the same Security Control list that won regionals. So it was like card for card, almost the same thing.
Yeah, almost mine too.
So that's why I'm not doing a Security Control list, but we're going to do the next best thing, Dark Masters. So let's go.
Alright, so this deck is freaking awesome, to say the least. I think it's one of the coolest decks that we've come up with in the English meta as of late. It was actually Japan meta that came up with it too. But anyway, get off started. Eggs are 4 Mother D Reaper. This egg is very generic. It's been played recently to just be a sack fodder. Now, most of the time you don't want to even hatch it, but if it does come up that you hatch it, you've got a free sack fodder for the next bed of cards that we have. So here's our Mother D Reapers. Next up, we have our level 5s. We don't play any level 3s, no level 4s. We're just going straight to the 5s. We have 4 Cherrymon. Cherrymon is just like all the other ones. We can actually go over the other ones right now as well. We have 4 Gigadramon and 4 Lady Devimon. Notably, no blue guy. I have no idea. Remember the name. Scorpiomon. There it is. We're just not playing it. The deck space doesn't need it. This 12 is perfectly enough. The blocker doesn't come up very often. Retaliation, Reboot, Piercing have been awesome. They all do the same thing. They search the top 4. You get 2 level 6 or higher. You add them to your hand, put the rest on the bottom, and then end of your turn, you can delete one of your Digimon, keyword there, and then you can put a Dark Master into your raising. So that's why we don't usually want to hatch the Mother D Reapers. We just want to usually play these on turn 1, drop one down, check our top 4, grab a Dark Master, put it in our raising, and we're getting going. That's basically it for our 5s. Next, we go on to the level 6s of the deck. We'll start off, I guess, with the Dark Masters.
Stuff.
Yep. So the first 2 Dark Masters that we play in the entire deck, we run 4 of Piedmon and 4 of Machinedramon. These cards are beyond busted. Machinedramon states on play they all have on play when attacking effects. The Piedmon says that when it attacks, it destroys an unsuspended Digimon. And then the Machinedramon Digivolve 2, one of your opponent's Digimon. They all also have a trait that they can only Digivolve into white Digimon. And at end of my opponent's turn, you delete him. You delete them to play another Dark Master of a different name from your hand. These are just the best ones that we have. I think later on down the line, we do change up a little bit of the ratios with later deck builds for this deck, because it does change over time quite a bit. The other 2 Dark Masters do show up in the deck. There are like some decks aren't playing them, some are. I am. We have 2 Metal Seedramons. This guy's the same thing as the rest of them, but he bounces level 5 or lower. And then finally, we're playing one of Puppetmon. Puppetmon is put something that is suspended to the bot deck. Pretty good, but not needed. And the green and the blue side of this deck is not really played too often. The purple and the black side is much more sprawled out. That is it for our Dark Masters, the namesake of the deck, and our engine practically. That leads into the other level 6s that we have in the deck. These cards are swapping constantly with the next couple of sets, so if you are going to follow this deck profile, I would recommend you keep up with what's being changed, because these cards are being changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
The first one we're going to go over is Ebonwumon. Ebonwumon Ace will go over your Cherrymons and your Lady Devimons. He's counter ace, like most of the aces. On play when digivolving, for each of your Digimon with the Devo or the 4 Sovereigns trait, you're going to suspend something, and then during your opponent's next unsuspend phase, all of their Digimon can't unsuspend. And then on deletion, you delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Just a good ace. Slows down the board. Aggro decks really hate this card sometimes. Can help a lot. The other ace that we're playing, which is the better ace, and this card is freaking insane, is Saint Gargamon themselves.
My boy.
Mega Gargamon. This card is crazy. It does not have an on play, which does suck, but there's a when Digivolving. You spend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then 2 of their Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend or Digivolve until the end of their next turn. This card's crazy. Counter it on top of a Cherrymon or a Gigadramon, and it will stun lock their board for just a little bit. That usually gives you more than enough time. It also has Reboot Blocker, which does come up quite a bit. Just a fantastic card all around. Some lists are playing 3 of this. Me personally, I like the 2/2 because that just changes later on. Later sets, we get more aces that are extremely good for this deck. So, yeah. And that's it for the utility level 6s. Now it's time to go on to the kind of namesake of this deck that kind of keeps the deck very interesting. The level 7s. We'll start off with the first level 7 that I think needs to be discussed, which is the big loop, not loop, but the engine for the deck for OmniZoo. This card is crazy. When Digivolving, you're going to mill the top 3 cards of your library, and then you're going to play 2 8-cost purple or black Digimon from your trash for free. That includes all your Dark Masters except for Cherrymon. That also includes some namesake cards such as Mega Gargamon and Ebonwumon. It's crazy how good this is. The on-play from these will trigger. You get to go and search your stuff. And then these will also trigger on-plays for this card. Later on down the line, we get a Grand Kuwagamon Ace and a... we get Grand Kuwagamon Ace and Vikemon Ace, both of which go insanely good in this deck. They can also be played off of Omnimon. They are 8 costs or less because they are Megas. And the Mega Aces all cost 7 so far.
I was actually going to ask about that. Do they change for the Vikemons and stuff like that? So you think they do?
Yeah, no, you definitely play new Vikemon, and you play the other Grand Kuwagamon.
Yeah.
The Grand Kuwagamon is crazy. It's a tamer killer. We don't like tamers in this deck. We kill them all the time.
Yep.
Next up on our level 7s is going to be the other 4 of that we play. We're playing 4 of Zwart Defeat. This card shot up in price because of this deck. This card's crazy. On Digivolving, it Digivolves for 3. On Digivolving, you'll kill a Tamer, and then when on deletion, you'll kill an opponent's Digimon. Good, and it also pops out of security when it's attacked in the security. Fantastic card, sets up for a lot of plays in the deck. Kills Tamers, kills your opponent's stuff. There's plays where you'll have this out, and you'll kill your own Zwart Defeat to kill one of their guys and put a Dark Master in Raising. It's good. Card can combo pretty well in the deck. Next on to our 3-ofs. We have 2 3-ofs in the entire deck. We have our first one, which is 4 of Merciful Mode. Or 3 of Merciful Mode. Merciful Mode is a crazy card in this deck. I think it is the deck that is the card that won me the matchups that I thought would be the worst the most. When Digivolving, for each card with Mega in its traits in its Digimon's Digivolution cards, you're going to delete one of your opponent's Digimon, and then you're going to place 10 cards from their trash to the bottom of their deck. This kills Devas. Devas is a bad deck for you. There's a couple Devas in our locals, and every single time I played against them until I added 3 of this card, I just got slapped around. There was no way I was ever beating them. This card at 3 saves you in the Devas matchup, and I think it's one of the worst matchups because they can minus 16k you, and you kill your stuff. You kill their stuff all the time. So they're just happy that you're killing their stuff because they're going to play a Fanglong and they're going to beat you. There's no way your stuff gets bigger than 16k. There's no inherits in this deck that are giving plus 2k or anything like that. So being able to put their 10 cards to the bottom of their deck really stops them and slows them down. And then at the start of your turn, you can also strip the top of this card to strip the top of their security. It helps a little bit in certain matchups. The other level 3, or the other level 7 that we have at 3 is the Alter Bees. With Digivolving, you're going to Digivolve 3, one of their Digimon, and then you're going to choose any number of them that of Digimon that's total play cost 6 and delete them. Note about Merciful Mode, I guess I didn't say this, but this does matter quite a bit in the deck, is that it Digivolves for 3 if the name contains Omnimon.
We play plenty of them.
We play plenty of Omnimons.
Oh, yeah.
This deck likes to loop around Omnimons a lot. Alter B also says Digivolves for 2 from level 7 with Omnimon in name. It's the same exact thing. It's when attacking is the best part of this card. when attacking by trashing up to 3 level 6 cards from or higher from the sources of this card, you're going to delete one of their Digimon or Tamers with the lowest play costs, and for each card trashed. And then if you trash 3 cards, you strip the 2 sources. Does not that second part of stripping the sources or stripping the top 2 of their security does not entirely matter, but it's really good. It helps a lot in certain matchups. Security control, it helps a lot, but it's hard to get there.
It's cool when it happens. It's not really necessarily what you're going for, but
it will help with you winning. But usually you're not going to get there a lot of the time. You're usually just going to beat their face by the time it's hard for people to deal with these 15k monsters. Another thing to know about Omnimon Alter B is you cannot digivolve it on top of anything but another Omnimon. It is black. It cannot digivolve on top of your...
Which is fine, because all of our... all of those can only evolve on whites anyway, so yeah.
So all these evolve on white, can only evolve into whites, but the rest of this can be evolved on top of them, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Finally, the last 3 cards that we have are one-ofs. These slots can be kind of teched around. It doesn't really matter what you play. You can play more of this card, you can play more of this card. I wouldn't recommend more of this, but more of this can be good. I was playtesting 4 of these. You can play other Omnimons. Not quite much more, but you can. So the last Omnimon we're playing is one of the BT5 Omnimonic Antibody. This card is good. It, once again, evolves on top of an Omnimon for 3, if it has an Omnimon in name. And then when attacking, you delete something with equal or less DP. 15k is big. It's going to kill most things in the format. And then when something attacks, you can remove 2 sources from this guy to stop the attack. Good card. Digivolve on top of your Omnimons. So you can go on top of this, on top of this, on top of this. Once you've used this once, you're practically done with it. Once you've used this once, you're practically done with it. So it's good. This was one of the merciful modes. I made this change. I think it's awesome. The next is the Cope card, Apoclymon. Sad that he got hit to 4 or hit to 1, but he is broken. Whenever you play him, you can reduce his play cost by 4 for every 3 for each Dark Master that you put under him. So if you put this guy, and this guy under him, he's minus 12, and it's good. Card does pretty well, and then end of your turn, you're gonna put a level 6 under him. You're gonna activate his on play.
6 or less, actually.
Yeah, 6 or less.
Which is even more busted.
Yeah, it matters. I've had it where I've digivolved on top of him on top of one of my guys, and then put a level 5 under him to search some more because we need to. And then you're gonna mill some cards for every mega, if I remember correctly.
That one, yeah, I think it's for every 6. Check it.
Effect card is an effect Digimon. Then trash the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck for each of Digimon's level 6 Digivolution cards. Yep. So the milling doesn't come up too often. It's actually bad in some matchups. Deva in particular, which is I think one of the worst matchups. Also, Monzemon is another really bad matchup. But so don't be stupid with this. Use it smartly. It can help a lot in certain matchups. It can also hinder you quite a bit in other matchups. Finally, the one of Death X. This card's busted. There's nothing else to say. We all know what Death X does.
Oh yeah.
You just slam this guy, and he's going to do a lot of work for you. I don't think I've actually played him once since I started playing the deck. So I guess it hasn't ever come up, but if it does, I mean, if you're playing this like D-Brigade or something that's wide boards, you're going to love this card. That's it for our level 7s. Now we just go on to the last part, which is my Tamer lineup. This deck does not have any options in it. I know some people are running variants that were playing options with X program as well as Seekers. Don't sleep on that version. I don't think it's that bad, but definitely depends on what you would want to play the most. Anyway, going on to our Tamers. We're playing 4 memory setters. We're playing 2 heroes. Sets to 3. And then it makes our guys bigger. Notably, it makes our aces 14k and our Dark Master's 13k, which breaks a lot of numbers in the format right now. That is good to hit. So you're a lot safer whenever you're swinging with hero. And then he sets you to 3. Just a good card in general. Next up after hero, we're playing 2 Analog Youth. This is the tried and true broken card. On play, you're going to reveal top 3. You're going to get a Digimon card and you trash the rest. Sets up your trash, which is what you want. And then when one of your guys dies, you can gain a memory and then hash an egg. It has to have sources when it dies. Key thing to note is that if you want to gain the memory, you have to hatch one of your Mother D Reapers. that can set you up in a really awkward scenario where if you don't push out, you can set yourself up to be locked out of putting your
Dark Masters.
Dark Master, sorry, into the breeding area. But that's not too bad. It could be worse. Finally, 2 Digimon Emperors. This card is an Ukamon killer. We don't like Ukamon, so we play this card. Whenever somebody pushes something, a rookie out of their raising, they're going to lose 2 memory. And then the other part is whenever something is deleted, is whenever 5 or lower is deleted, you get to draw 1 card. This card is cracked. I love Digimon Emperor. I think this is one of the coolest cards that they've printed. I think it's one of the best generic tamers. This card opens up the way for the X program stuff that we were talking about. Mother does that the same, but being able to do it while having something in your raising, else in your raising, feels really nice. And that is it for the profile. So key takebacks from this deck. Be careful with the Monzemon matchup and the Deva matchup. Oh lord, we have some good players over here, and the Monzemon matchup was definitely not easy. Went into time for sure. The Deva's matchup is again it's very rough. You have to see your merciful modes, or else you're never ever winning that matchup. If you loop merciful modes to a degree, like you can go merciful mode, alright, trash their security, alright, merciful mode after once they have like a few cards in their trash, because they're just going to try to drop a Deva on you as fast, like Fang Longmon as fast as possible. If you can get your merciful modes in and out as fast as possible, it helps a lot with getting through the onslaught of Fang Longmon can put out. Or if they brick. That's also a thing that can do. But that's it. If you like the deck profile, I guess, explore this deck. I think it's one of the coolest decks in the format.
I do too. I actually recently picked it up myself.
I think it's one of the coolest decks in the format. The deck does so many interesting things. I've been a Mega Zoo player since BT 6, 5.
Yes.
Horse gaming.
Yes.
Horse gaming, if you know. But that's it.
Now, one question I'll have, which I'm sure other people will have, is with your vast amount of Omnimons, why not are you running the Matt and Ty, the White Tamer?
So we were actually playing that before. There is an older list of this deck that I was playing that I absolutely hate Matt and Ty.
Really?
I hate that
The
card.
extra security for your Omnimons?
It does not come up at all.
Really? Okay.
Your deck, okay. It's kind of it's a trap. You think?
I would assume the first part's a trap, but all the Omnimons that you play, I would assume the second part would be.
So the first part is the trap.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. There is no good time. There's not a lot of good times in this deck to be playing a 4-cost tamer. You don't really want to let go of your turn 1 tempo that you can have by just putting a Dark Master into raising, because sometimes what your opponent will do on turn 2 is they'll go, all right, you just gave me like 6 memory. I'm gonna go rookie, champion. Tamer.
Just go up their whole
They're
ass
gonna
line,
go rookie, champion, tamer, and you can go, oh cool, I'm gonna push out my dude and then go into Zord defeat and kill your tamer, and you're not gonna give them a lot of memory, and then they can't react to this. If they kill this, if they don't have protection from this, they will die. They are going to die from the effect that it has. It can have retaliation, it can have reboot, so it's even harder to deal with. It's a trap basically. You're never going to let a level 6 sit on the board too often, and playing a 4-cost tamer is just really hard to do. We were testing Dragon Mode Ace at one point to try to cheat those tamers out. It did not work. It was bad. Don't play that card. The other ace you could play is Zongquimon. Zongquimon, is that it? The bird from Devas.
Zongqual? The purple red one? Yeah.
The purple red one. I think it's alright. It's not fantastic. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can try it. Some people are definitely playtesting it. Like I said, this deck is, right now, it's kind of in the air as what is good and bad. Later on, we get
a lot of personal flavor.
Yeah, a lot of personal flavor right now. Next up, we get Vikemon Ace and Kuwagamon Ace. Those cards are insane for the deck. We replaced some of the level 7s with them. We replaced the Ebonwu Aces with them. It's fantastic. I'm really happy for this deck going forward. I'm going to keep playing it until the end of time, and I probably will alt art it as well. I'm thinking about picking up all my alt arts for everything in the deck. That's it. Any other questions?
Not that I think I can have. If anybody else has questions, feel free to comment. I'm sure I will get Sean to answer those.
I can answer them. I have a YouTube that I can answer on.
So yeah, and if I don't think I have any other questions myself. Deck is fun. Built it myself. Yeah, very, very fun. Definitely see a lot of potential going forward in the coming sets. Definitely not a deck that I don't think is going to be dying anytime soon. You agree?
No, it's.
Yeah.
I think it's going to stick around. Japan format had it in BT16. It was going around on Twitter. That's where a lot of the original inspiration for this deck came from, was seeing it on Twitter, and I thought that is hilarious. I want to build that. And we tried to build it with the cards that we had now. I didn't quite like the list that I came up with, that I was theory crafting with. So I said, I'm going to go look around some more, found some more lists, built around those, and I was like, I like this version of it a lot. Like I said, got second place with it. I've been doing really well. The hard matchups are hard, but they're not impossible. They're not 70-30s. They're more like 55-45s. They take just knowing your matchup.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Sean, for the deck profile. Any other questions you guys have, shoot in the comments. We'll definitely get some answers going. Like, subscribe, all that good mess. And we'll see you next time.